It's time for Coffee with the Chicken Ladies, a podcast for people who love chickens.
Hey everybody, and welcome. It's Chrisie&Holly from Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. We are here, and this is episode number 271 of our podcast, where we talk about everything chicken, family, fun, and
more chickens and ducks and geese.
More chicken! We drink a ton of coffee. I'm talking a ton, but most importantly,
we hug poultry every day.
And we kiss them too. Don't forget, we brew coffee from a little coffee roaster in Houston, Texas. Bright and early coffee. Holly Ann, what kind of coffee are we brewing today?
Okay, I'm going to tell you right now. This is breakfast blend laced with large amounts of caramel creamer.
In the afternoon, because I can't go without saying that. I'm obsessive about that.
It's 15 degrees outside. 15 degrees. That's all I'm saying.
It's cold. So, you are missing out if you're not drinking breakfast blend in the afternoon from Bright and Early Coffee. We have a code. It's CWTCL 15 for 15% off a bagged coffee. Where should everybody go?
brightenearlycoffee.com.
And if you need K-Cups, go over to Amazon and follow them on social media. Are you ready to sip some of this delicious breakfast blend in the afternoon and chat?
I am. But first, a word from our sponsor.
We have some exciting news to share from our sponsor, Grubbly Farms. They're here, new and improved, Grubbly's World Harvest.
I'm a longtime subscriber, and my flock love the healthy, nutritious treats, plus orders $40 and more ship free.
If you haven't heard, Grubbly's has a fantastic layer pellet and crumble feed. It's packed with plant and insect protein, perfect for those picky chickens and ducks.
Grubbly Farms makes food and treats for healthy pets and planet.
To support us and Grubbly Farms, use the link grubbly.co/coffee. Try it today. Okay, all I have to say is, brr, it's cold outside. Cold outside, yeah. I mean, it's cold. It snowed. It sleeted. My driveway is not good right now, man. Not good.
Well, so first things first, I'm going to say that I'm incredibly grateful that we never actually got freezing rain. We got like frozen sleet, so we never lost power.
Thank God.
Was amazing. The second thing I'm going to say is my ducks are in my garage, and it's a little crazy over here.
Why don't you just put a disco ball up and play them some music?
They might like that. You walk outside, like, they all run over talking to you.
Yeah, everybody's in my garage over here. Tent City. Tent City, panel heater, Tent City. And everybody's bored.
Tent City, here we come.
They are bored, but they're warm.
Bored and safe. Safe and bored.
That's where we want them. So, oh boy, what a few days this has been. My poor Joe, he was out there all day. You were probably out there all day on Sunday.
No, I wasn't.
You were lucky then.
I couldn't do it. I was so cold and tired from getting ready for the storm that I said, I'm not shoveling anything until it's finished.
Then it froze.
That's okay. It's still easier than...
He was out there all day. I felt so bad for him. Thank you, honey, for being out there. But, that's a lot of work.
I want to send a huge thank you to my neighbor, Brian, because he plowed our driveway, which was super nice.
Oh, that is really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah, so other than the weather, we're getting ready to go away in a few days.
It's going to be surreal because we're going to be in the desert.
Yeah, if you see us, if you're around the Phoenix area, you may be seeing two chicken ladies walking.
We're really pale compared to everyone else there.
Yeah, exactly. But that's exciting. We can't wait to go to the trade show. We are super psyched.
Yeah, we're going to be hanging out at the Neutrina booth. Good times.
Yeah, and if you're a vendor there, come see us. And you're going to have an opportunity to win some prizes. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, they have a Plinko game set up, which I love the sound of. Plinko.
Yes. And we're running it. Yay!
We are running it.
So on that note, if you're listening to our show and you're loving it, head on over to Apple Podcast and leave us a written review. Thank you for the last listener who left us. It was such a nice review. Thank you so much.
We have got the best listeners. Seriously. We love you guys.
World.
Thank you. We've got the best listeners.
And hit that subscribe button because we want you to sit at our table with us. Come join us. Join the fun. You never want to miss it.
I'd be giving away a lot of our secrets. If you're looking for other ways to help support the show, you can tell a few chicken, duck, or goose-loving friends about us. You can share your favorite episodes on social media. You can become a patron of the show, patreon.com/coffeewiththechickenladies. Thank you to all of our lovely patrons. You guys are the best. And the other thing you can do to help support this show is visit our website and our show notes, use our affiliate links and discount codes, and buy products from our sponsors.
And soon pre-order our book. You know what I love when it's 95 degrees outside?
Being inside.
Well, that too, but I really love cleaning my igloo chicken coop.
Yeah, it is so easy to clean. You don't have to break a sweat.
And you can use a water hose or pressure washer, so it doubles as a cool down. I also love those run covers.
Oh man, the shade is superb. I go into the run to cool off.
Yep, my flock's covered during the heat of the day, just chillin'.
Meanwhile, we're melting on the patio. Seriously, can we get in on this amazing coop design for ourselves?
They're out there living the dream.
So when it's pushing 100 degrees, the right setup matters.
That's why we choose an igloo.
Get your girls their own just in time for summer.
Search Omelette. That's OMLET.
The Breed Spotlight is brought to you by Murray McMurray Hatchery, defining quality for generations. For over a century, Murray McMurray Hatchery has remained a trusted family-owned business working tirelessly to ensure our poultry meet the highest standards. Whether you are an experienced enthusiast or just embarking on the journey, look to McMurray Hatchery for guaranteed quality, rare, and heritage breeds, low minimums, and all the supplies you need to raise your flock. Request a free catalog today.
Once there was Chrisie&Holly in a canoe, and we were paddling through on a lake. And then there was a hole in the boat. Chrissy got the water out while Holly rowed the boat. And now it's time for the Breed Spotlight. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So a couple things. You're conflating at least two different episodes. The canoe did not have a hole in it. The canoe, we had to take over a fallen tree. My rowboat had a hole in it, but that was not on the lake. That was on the
river.
Yeah, it was in the river.
And I had to bail while you were paddling.
If there's one thing I could do, it's row. I'm a good rower.
And your dog was like running the shore, barking at us because he knew. He was like, get your butts back.
Well.
But so none of it was on the lake. But hey.
But and the reason you mashed all these things together in some bizarre little song was because this week's breed is the Lakenvelder. You're going to fall off your chair. You're laughing so hard at yourself.
I don't know where it comes from. It's the Lakenvelder. Yeah.
The Lakenvelder. The beautiful Lakenvelder is a very old European heritage breed chicken that really deserves to be better known. They were developed around the German-Dutch borders, and they were selected as a laying breed. They were egg producers.
Oh, yeah.
You'll see the name sometimes spelled with an F, which is the German spelling, Lakenvelder, instead of a V, but it's still mostly pronounced as an F. They are small and sprightly black and white chickens that are excellent foragers and beautiful to look at, and they're still quite rare.
You do not hear a lot of people talking about this breed of chicken.
No, and they're beautiful with that sort of black and white graphic look to them.
Mm-hmm.
The Livestock Conservancy currently lists Lakenvelders in the threatened category of the conservation priority list.
Let's all group together and help this chicken.
I like this chicken a lot. I think they're really pretty. And they're pretty good layers. Now, the origins of the Lakenvelder are somewhat murky and obscure. They're most likely an older breed who was kept in the area as a landrace for a long time. But with hen fever and, interest in breeding and showing in the 1800s, people started paying more attention to the breeds, especially breeds that were already around. In a couple of different sources, I found some very hazy and undocumented mentions of a group or groups of ancient people bringing the Lakenvelder with them out of Jerusalem or maybe out of Palestine and into Northern Europe, but I found zero solid evidence at all to back this up.
Zero evidence.
Zero, none. Either way, the breed's current name comes from the Lakenvelder region of the Netherlands. There's also a black and white belted breed of cattle from the same region. They like their black and white animals.
Yes, they do.
Now, when you see Lakenvelders mentioned anywhere, usually if you're scrolling through people's websites looking for information, you'll see someone say that their name, Lakenvelder, means shadow on a sheet.
Ooh.
Well, it doesn't make sense to me. Shadow on a sheet, really?
It's a shadow on a sheet.
Okay.
It was a night just like this.
I went, this is a dark and stormy night.
And I saw a shadow on a sheet.
So I translated it myself. And
Linen field.
That's right. I came up with linen field, like a field of flax. And laken is sometimes used to mean bed sheet, but it also means like cloth or linen. Veld means field. So linen has a very long history of being grown in Northern Europe. And I think naming this bird like linen field, somewhere where it would be foraging, makes a lot more sense than the shadow on a sheet theory.
I myself like shadow on a sheet.
Yeah, I know you do. You also want chickens to be shipwrecked and a lot of other stuff.
It was a night just like this, and this chicken came up like a shadow on a sheet.
What does that mean?
It was creeping up, and you saw the shadow of the chicken behind the sheet.
Only if there was a light source.
Kind of like in Alabama when we saw the man staring at us with the no trespassing signs through the window.
You know, the funny thing about that, so long story short, I took a wrong turn and we ended up turning around and near this man's property. And I'm sure he probably has people turn around down there all the time. This is like in the very rural Alabama, and it was quite late at night. So I don't blame him for, staring people who are turning around near his property. But I just put the car in reverse, went to turn around, glanced over, and he was backlit by his house. It was just this big looming shadow. I almost had a heart attack.
I was like, get out of here fast. Got it.
Okay. Anyway, that was the first of many times I thought I was going to die in Alabama.
That was a shadow on a sheet.
No, this has something to do with linen. This bird has something to do with fields of flax. That's what I'm going with.
Oh, right.
In 1901, the Lakenvelder arrived in the UK, and then they quietly landed in the US around the same time. The American Poultry Association accepted the Lakenvelder into the standard of perfection in 1939 with very little fanfare. I found mentions of Lakenvelders in some early 20th century poultry journals. So there were some ads for hatching eggs in a 1916 edition of the Poultry Item Journal. At the same time, eggs from prize-winning stock, Lakenvelder stock, were selling for a rate of 15 eggs for $2. Now we're talking about around the First World War. So I went back and used the historical money converter. It's one of my favorite tools. Plugged in $2 for 1916. Guess how much that cost in today's money?
$50.
$68.
I was close.
You were very close. So that's what you would pay for a little over a dozen hatching eggs, which I don't think seems unreasonable for good quality hatching eggs.
No, and I mean, in those days too, I mean, you're going to get a lot of eggs for your family to eat. It's well worth that money, unless you get all boys hatched. Then, gosh.
That's a whole other story. A 1914 edition of Farm Journal, I thought this was interesting. They ran a spotlight and a drawing of the Lakenvelder after readers requested an image so they could see what they looked like, for reference. Because you didn't have photographs in most of these early journals.
No, you didn't
have black and white line drawings, but people really wanted to see what this bird looked like.
Oh, yeah. So let's get into what they actually look like. The Lakenvelders, they're small-bodied birds. They're little. So the roosters are weighing in between 4.5 to 5 pounds, and the hens between 3.5 to 4. So they're about leghorn size. I always say, where are you where it comes to leghorns? They're about what leghorns are. Now, they are strikingly high contrast with a white body and black neck and tail feathers with slate blue legs and feet. Wow.
They're red, white, blue, and black.
They really are. They cover all the nations. They have good-sized straight combs and wattles. Of course, they have wattles. And they have white earlobes. Okay? White earlobes. What does that tell us? Roosters have beautiful, full, flowing tails. Of course, all the boys get the good feathers. The color variety we most commonly see in the U.S. is the silver, the black on white bird. Now, there's apparently
a golden Lakenvelder in Europe. And there's also a chicken called the Vorwerk.
Right.
Which is gold with the black hackles and tail. But they're two different birds. One is definitely a Lakenvelder.
So they look the same, but they're different birds?
I think their body is different enough. The Vorwerk has a different body shape than the golden Lakenvelder. I think people still confuse them.
Well, we did just profile that bird on episode 164.
Because we're in episode 271.
Yeah, we did on 164.
We didn't just profile. That was like 2 years ago. Okay,
let me say it again then.
Okay,
we did profile the Vorwerk, which I have a hard time saying that name.
Vorwerk?
Vorwerk.
We profiled the Vorwerk. What episode?
164.
But the golden Lakenvelder is not an APA accepted color, and it is very hard to find. So you probably don't even need to worry about it.
All that, you don't need to worry about that. Okay. So the hens are good layers of medium to large white or cream tinted eggs, and they'll give you around 200 or so. So they're pretty good. That's good. They rarely go broody. And having been selected as laying hens, you know that they're going to be like, look, we want to give you these eggs. We don't want to go broody, man.
Not have time to sit on that nest.
Now, they would make a great homestead chicken, especially if you're just looking primarily for laying hens and, poultry to help with permaculture, regenerative ag, all those things.
They're very gentle, but they are very active birds. They do need time to forage, and they are very, very good foragers. That's one of the reasons they would be great in a permaculture or regenerative ag system, because they're going to go everywhere. They're going to poop everywhere, which is good. That's fertilizer. And they're going to turn over garden beds or whatever else you need.
And they're not the friendliest of chickens. And that's might be one of the reasons we don't hear about them a lot. Because people are like, but you can probably win an individual bird over. I mean, I got a comment. I put up Lucy on social the other day eating a strawberry, and somebody said, that bird is a leghorn, and leghorns are supposed to be flighty, and that leghorn doesn't look flighty. And it's that golden rule that every bird's an individual. So you get out what you put in. If you really work with them, they can be super friendly and cuddly too.
We're going to talk a lot more about this in our main topic, coincidentally.
Oh, yeah.
They're not the friendliest chickens, meaning they're generally on a mission and they have a high startle reflex. They're bright white, and predators can mark them pretty easily. That's going to add to their flightiness. But they would make a gorgeous addition to a chicken lady's flock. They are small-bodied chickens with big combs, so they do well in a warmer climate. If you want to have them in a colder climate, you're going to have to give them some protection from cold and frostbite.
You need those provisions. Now, everybody's like, I want to help this little Lakenvelder bird. Where do I get them?
McMurray Hatchery does sell these beautiful birds, and they sell them as sexed day-old chicks, so you can get yourself some Lakenvelder hens. You can also check in with the Lakenvelder's Breeders Group on Facebook and the Livestock Conservancy's Breeders Directory.
Check them out. They need our help. Go get some Lakenvelders.
Are you ready to dive into the fascinating world of backyard ducks? Look no further than Metzer Farms, your premier destination for top-quality waterfowl. Whether you're a seasoned breeder or just starting out, Metzer Farms has everything you need to elevate your flock to the next level. And if you're passionate about call ducks, you're in for a treat.
Metzer Farms hatches a stunning variety of call ducks, meticulously bred for their miniature size, beauty, and calm temperament. From snowy whites to vibrant colors, each duck is a masterpiece waiting to grace your backyard. Visit MetzerFarms.com today to browse their extensive selection and start your journey into the wonderful world of waterfowl. Metzer Farms, where passion meets perfection.
If you're looking for a chicken coop that's produced in a planet-friendly, sustainable way, try Nestera.
Each coop is made from highly durable, 100% recycled plastic that keeps the equivalent of up to 2,000 shampoo bottles out of a landfill.
Their clean, modern design will fit into any garden or run area and comes with an industry-beating 25-year warranty and a range of handy accessories.
Simple to put together, so quick and easy to clean, and most importantly, red mite resistant. Your chickens will love it.
Quick shipping from Nestera.us.
For a 5% discount, use the affiliate link in our show notes, on our website, and on Instagram. Link in bio. Check them out today.
Eaton Pet and Pasture is a farmer-owned company based in upstate New York that creates USA-made, sustainable products for backyard chicken keepers. From low-dust hemp bedding and comfy aspen nesting pads to nutritious treats and odor-eliminating products, everything is designed to keep your coop clean, healthy, and smelling egg-tastic.
All their products are made right here in the USA with ingredients that are safe for your flock and the planet. So whether you're doing a deep clean or just a quick refresh, Eaton makes it simple to care for your coop the natural way.
They're your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness, made easy.
Visit EatonPetAndPasture.com to explore the full line of flock favorites and use the code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount. Okay, so we're ready to move on to main topic. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of, we had a listener message us regarding some chickens that she wanted to get, and she wanted cuddly chickens. And I think her choices were like Crevecoeur was one of them, Lavender Orpington, and I'm trying to think what the third one was.
I don't remember the third one, but I remember they were all breeds that had the capacity to be pretty cuddly.
They do. And she's like, is it better to get all three the same? Is it better to get one more than the other? And I was like, you really can't go wrong with those three chickens. You know, they're going to be great.
Right.
So we decided to do our main topic this week on how to choose and raise friendly flocks, because I think that's a main concern of especially families or everybody. They want to be able to handle their chickens, cuddle their chickens, and treat them as pets.
We have a lot of novice chicken keepers that reach out to ask us this, how to make your chickens friendly. And we can definitely help, but it is an idea if you first, just define to yourself what friendly looks like to you.
Right.
Is it hens clucking at your feet? Is it lap chickens? Gentle birds for your kids to show in 4-H? Or maybe all the above? Like, Chrissy wants lap chickens, while I want friendly birds who like to flock around me and they're easy to handle and medicate. I generally are not going to find me in the hammock for an hour with a rooster.
Where you will find me.
Yes. Not that there's anything wrong with that. We each have our ways of doing things. So it helps to know what you want, but you also may find that your goals will evolve in time. And sometimes, I've heard people say this, some people may also think that your chickens will be happier if you just leave them alone to be chickens. But this was surprising and interesting to me. There's a decent amount of research proving the positive effects of human contact on chickens. A study published in Poultry Science Journal in July of 2025 tested several control groups of chickens with varying levels of human contact and interaction. I'm going to call these the A group. The first group were the birds who did receive physical contact. That group exhibited calmer and more positive behaviors, such as reduced vigilance and increased foraging, especially in the presence of the experimenter, the person, compared to all the groups that were just left on their own. The birds with the least amount of human contact, and that includes simple visual contact, remained flighty and difficult to catch.
I mean, this does go to show you that love goes a long way. So, like knowing and trusting someone that takes care of you is going to make you want to do better and do more. These chickens have this ability, we've been talking about it all along, to have an emotional IQ, and they do.
There are also some really interesting physical results from similar studies. So this same study from 2025, they referenced some earlier studies. Previous studies have shown that increased human contacts with chickens not only modifies behavior by reducing the chicken's fear of humans, but it also improves physiological and zootechnical parameters. For example, increased human contact has been linked to reduced corticosterone levels in chickens. It has led to better egg production and more fertility in laying hens. The 2002 study found enhanced antibody responses in broiler chickens that were handled.
Yeah, I think what happens is that these birds have the ability to feel. And when you feel that you're in a safe environment, when you feel you're in a loved environment, the body works better. Happy people are healthier people. The same thing with chickens. If a chicken feels loved and is content with their life, generally there's things that you can't stop from happening, but generally they're healthier. All those hormones are in levels where they need to be. And yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, every breed is different, and that's why it's so important to listen to breed spotlights, because some birds are genetically more cuddly than others. They really are.
I feel like the results of this study don't even get to the love part. They're just dealing with positive interaction.
Right.
So once you get into that really strong bond, and you have this bonded relationship with your bird, it takes things to a whole other level.
I mean, I have like Lucy, and she basically will come out, lay on me, do all the things, and she's a Leghorn.
So we can say that the first step is choosing your breeds, and we're going to talk about this. But I think keep two things in mind. The first is that naturally friendly chickens do not always equal cuddly chickens. My Swedish flowers are friendly. They're not cuddly. Then again, the other thing to keep in mind is that if you work with any breed extensively enough, you can usually make them a snuggly bird. And I'm talking about Lucy.
Any bird, if you work with them enough, you're going to win over trust. And if you win over trust, you're going to make a bond. And it's all about what you want your chickens to feel or how you want them to feel. If you want a pet, chickens can be a pet. Yes. Are some breeds going to be a little cuddlier than others? Yes. But like we said, Lucy's a Leghorn and she was won over because this is how I introduce myself. Hi, I'm Chrissy. I'm a hugger. That's what I do. So my chickens are like, shoot, we got a huggy mom. Like she's like, oh yeah, let me rock you to sleep. Let me do this. And they tend to just fall into it. It's like when I go to the vets with the chickens, they're like, are any of your chickens not like this? I'm like, nah. Like this.
Yeah.
So you put in the work and you get a cuddly flock. It's a lot of work.
Now keep in mind that all chickens are individuals, and that does matter, even in the cuddliest breeds. But if we're going to give you a list of birds that are friendly breeds that usually like to be petted or held, there are all of our favorites. Brahmas,
Cochins,
Langshan,
Orpingtons,
Salmon Feverels,
Silkies,
Nankins,
all other bantams. And you know what? There are a lot of other chicken breeds in there. I would throw the Barnevelder in there even.
Probably the Australorp too.
Yeah, there's more even in there that you can get. And they're actually birds that you can get even at your farm supply store that we've talked about this over the years. There are some birds that genetically are just stronger, we feel like.
Oh, you mean like the
genetics are stronger?
The Fayomis are kind of programmed to be.
I'll never forget Dr. Yuko talking about that Fayumi hanging on her arm that she's trying to draw blood from.
I mean, from the Fayumi's perspective, she's like, you're doing what?
Yeah,
I'm fighting this lady.
I do not think so. But, and I think, honestly, this might not be, this is where I would say, if pets, training, love, and all these things are on the top of your list, I would start with 1-day-old chicks.
Absolutely.
And I would hold them from as much as you can. I'd walk around doing chores, holding them. I would feed them from your hand. I would keep them warm, but I would interact with them so much in the first few weeks that is normal for them.
Yeah.
100% normal. When we talk about when I got the Polish, little man was the one who was the runt.
He was our worry. As soon as he came out of the box, we were like, this little guy needs some TLC.
We didn't know he was a guy at that point, but we were like, so I held him constantly. So I think that part of it kind of paid off. Now the hormones sometimes will come out, but
he doesn't want you to take his eggs. Those are his children.
Exactly. But it is what you put out. So this is what we're saying. Handle them a lot.
I have another very friendly and actually cuddly chicken to throw in there, and that's the Jersey Giant.
Oh, okay. Well, you have experience with Jersey Giant.
Very friendly. Lap chickens. I love my Jersey Giants.
Definitely. Now, take the cues from them if they want to get down, though, after a while. And we were talking about this last night on our Patreon call, weren't we? That I was saying how chickens don't really want to poop on you as adult chickens.
Right.
If you're holding them, they start to get fidgety. It's almost a cue to say, I don't want to go to the bathroom when you put me down.
Right.
Chicks are the ones that can't really control it. But take the cue from them that they can come up and go down whenever they're controlling that versus you controlling them. That will help a lot also.
Yeah, it helps to build trust. They're signaling a need to you and you're putting them down. The more you handle any bird safely and comfortably, the more they'll trust you to pick them up and hold them appropriately for a decent amount of time.
And also don't ixnay using food with this because they love food. So use that to your advantage. Give them treats.
sitting with your babies, your flock, any of your birds, sitting with your birds and hand feeding them treats and just being down with them goes a very long way towards building trust and emotional bonds.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But make sure that environment is safe, that's for sure, so that no one can get into it like a dog or somebody else like that.
Right. You want your environment to be safe and calm so that they can concentrate on one-on-one time with you. It's very unnerving for them if you're trying to hold them and there's, say, people talking loudly, kids screaming or all worked up, barking dogs, anything startling like that. Try not to do your bonding time with that happening around you.
Exactly. Now, we say the one way, we always say when something happens to a chicken, it's always the one that you're the closest to. But we kind of say there's a way to indirectly build a bond with a chicken and an emotional bond. And it's like that with people, like people talk about nursing and their nurses. The people who nurse you, you're going to build a bond with and vice versa. If you're medicating a chicken multiple times a day, you're helping that chicken with an illness or an injury, you're going to become closer. They're going to have more trust in you. You're going to trust in them. So you're going to build a bond that way.
I have found that it's kind of a weird thing, but I've noticed it. Once my chicks are older, carrying them in and out at night when I'm integrating them, for whatever reason, goes a really long way towards them being used to me handling them whenever. The other thing is I think that the nursing, it probably works with all species, but my Cayuga duck snapdragon, I told the story not too long ago where she had a leg injury. And Cayugas have a reputation for being a little skittish or a little flighty. I just think they're balls of energy and they never stop. But having to pick up Snapdragon twice a day to medicate her, she's a different duck. She'll run right to me. I mean, she's totally different with me.
Now, here's the other thing, another bird, because as we're sitting here, it's like they're all flooding in my head. Hootans, mine end up on my head 24/7. So they are like, they want to be with you, on you all the time. And if you give that back, that's what they're going to love. So to the listener, thank you for asking the question, because that is a good question. And you know what I would tend to do in that situation, I was like, what would I do? I think I would have got 2 Crev cores and one of the other ones and had 2 match and one like a little bit stronger of a chicken, like the Lavender Orpington, by herself, but to still bond with the 2 Crevs.
Well,
I would have gotten the Crev course.
Top hat breeds.
That's why. I was like, what would I would have done?
The American breeds can be a little bit more independent. Again, I said the Jersey Giants are cuddly. Delawares can be cuddly too.
Delaware will break your heart. Yeah, they're so cuddly. Spicy. Now here's a chicken. The Rhode Island Red by themselves can be amazingly cuddly. In groups, they're girl gangs. In groups, they're girl gangs.
So we had the Lucy's and they were something. But then my sister had this hen named Little Red who was a Rhode Island Red, and she was very sweet.
Yeah, I mean, Spicy is... I love that chicken. Love that chicken.
Just thinking real quick, like taking a quick thought through the various flocks. Who else is really super? My Jubilee Orpingtons love to be under my feet. They love to be petted.
Oh, Stella, one of my Jubilee Orpingtons, she's the last to go in every night. Yeah. You've been there with me.
Oh, yeah.
When she walks, you have to, because she wants to say goodnight every night. After everybody, she walks back and forth with me. And then when I say, okay, Stells, let's go, she jumps up and it's almost like I kiss her goodnight. And the thing is, they're highly trainable. That's the other thing to get to remember in all this. You are kind of training them emotionally to want this behavior.
If your birds are running away from you in flight, then find a time to work with your birds when they're not all wigged out. Yeah. Maybe at night when they're on the perch. Maybe grab one to bring in and watch TV with you. Yeah. Or when you first let them in the morning, sit down on the ground with them and hand feed them.
I mean, there's a bunch of time when the weather's decent, not like now, to do the bonding. Right now, we're all in survival mode, basically, right now. But to do those bondings, I do bring Lucy in to watch TV for a little while. I do bring little man in. I do bring chickens in one at a time and spend 15 minutes with them and then build that bond. So building a bond, that's the way to get it. You can do it.
Don't wait for your chickens to come to you. Some will, some won't. Meet your chickens halfway and spend that time with them.
Definitely.
If your flock could talk, they would thank you for shopping at Eaton Pet and Pasture, your one-stop shop for coop freshness and flock happiness made easy.
From their all-natural USA-made favorites like hemp bedding, roost refresh, and nesting pads to convenient product bundles that make chicken care simple, Eaton has everything you need to keep your coop clean, cozy, and odor-free.
Check them out at EatonPetAndPasture.com and use code COFFEE at checkout for a first-time purchase discount.
Okay, so we ready to move on to
Cracking eggs.
Cracking those eggs. Now, we wanted to do something a little savory this week with our eggs. So what are we doing?
This is cheesy spinach and artichoke baked eggs. Now,
Yummy.
I thought this sounded really good, and I decided to make this the night before the snowstorm hit because I wanted something that I could just like take out of the fridge and slice and eat, whether it was cold or not.
Right.
It is really good warm, though.
Let's go through our ingredient list. You might have had a hard time finding some of these before the last store. These stores were wiped out. It was panic buying at its best.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going to need 12 eggs. That's a lot of eggs, but you know what? It's good to save some of your eggs for a meal, and this is the way to do it. 12 eggs, a quarter cup of milk or dairy-free milk or plant milk, 2 cups of baby spinach, and you're going to chop it. 1 14-ounce can of quartered artichoke hearts, drained and finely chopped. 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, depending on your preference.
You can go more or go less. I like it garlicky.
I like everything super garlicky.
Yeah.
1 teaspoon of onion powder, a half a teaspoon of salt, a half a teaspoon of pepper, a cup of shredded mozzarella, because that's the best for melting, a half a cup of shredded cheddar cheese, or 1.5 cups of dairy-free shredded cheese of your choice. And optional, you can get a little fancy, put some chives on it if you like.
Now, I do have some chives in my garden, but I could not get to them.
Because they're a foot of snow, sorry.
They're a little buried, yeah. This is actually really quick and easy to make. You're going to preheat your oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Lightly spray or grease a 9 by 13-inch baking dish and set that aside. In a medium to large mixing bowl, you're going to add the eggs, the milk, the garlic powder, onion powder, salt, and pepper, and you're going to whisk it to combine. Mix in the spinach, the artichoke hearts, and the mozzarella cheese, or 1 cup of the dairy-free cheese. Pour that in your baking dish. Top it with the shredded cheddar or the remaining half a cup of dairy-free cheese. Pop that in the oven. Bake for 40 minutes. It's done when the center has set and it's not really jiggly anymore, and the edges are golden brown. Take it out. Let it stand for about 10 minutes. Serve and enjoy. It is easy. It is good.
Dinner, easiness, and healthy for you, and yummy. So try it. You might like it. Let us know what you think. There's so many different ways to use your eggs. Definitely.
Well, if you have winter layers kicking in right now, I appreciated being able to use up a dozen because they're rolling in now.
I know over here too. Okay, so let's move on to retail therapy. Retail therapy. Yeah. This week's retail therapy, we said we're going to start switching it up a little bit and doing something a little different. We're going to do a seed spotlight. We're going to throw some of these in here every other week so that you kind of can know what to buy to start your gardens around this time. And you're going to start with seeds, in your little greenhouses in your house or wherever you're going to start them.
So this week we're going to talk about the sparkler white tip radish. That was the first radish I ever grew very successfully. And not only are we going to tell you a little bit about the seed and where you can get them, but also what parts you and your poultry can eat. So radishes are one of the oldest domestic vegetables in existence. They're one of the easiest plants to grow. Both people and poultry can safely eat all parts of the radish plant. When early explorers and immigrants began settling in colonial America, they brought radish seeds with them to start their gardens. Radishes can be round, they can be oblong like a carrot, or even large cylindrical shapes, and they come in tons of pretty colors. White, red, purple, pink, yellow, green, and black.
Now, the sparkler white tip radish is also known as sparkler brightest white tip or just white tip because think of a sparkler.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like the heirloom plants are not that much different than the heritage breed chickens. Sometimes they end up with these old names. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a spring radish that grows quickly. It's generally ready to eat in about 24 to 30 days. The top 2/3 of the radish is a brilliant red, while the bottom is bright white. And this is a variety that's been popular since the mid-late 1800s. So it's had some staying power. It's been around a while. It's easy to grow. It's often one of the first things in the garden that's ready to eat. So that's good to know. And depending upon when you plant them, of course. So if you're planting them a little earlier, they might be ready a little earlier.
Right. It's true. Or your weather, like a lot of things have to do with that. So how's your favorite way to eat radishes, Chris?
Generally, I will eat them in a salad or salt it. That's about it. So,
I like to chop up the whole radish, greens and all, mix them with good butter, spread it on toast, and then top it with a fried egg. It's one of my favorite spring lunches.
Yeah, I'm not huge on radishes. It's not that I don't like radishes, but I generally will eat them in salads or dip them in like salt and eat them that way.
Yep. If you don't like radish greens, a lot of times when you buy them, when you're growing your own, obviously you've got greens. If you buy them in the store, sometimes they may or may not have greens. But if you don't like radish greens, your chickens will happily eat them for you. It's really good for them.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they love greens of all kinds. So, here's the old thing. Do you chop them? Do you, make sure you kind of chop them or let them pick the leaves off, one or the other.
I roasted radishes the other night and it was delicious.
Oh, I've never tried that.
Me either. It was first.
So where to find the white tip radish? You can buy seeds from Southern Exposure, Seed Exchange, Sandhill Preservation Center, True Leaf Market, Victory Seed Company, and Harvesting History. So
probably a lot of other places too. Those are just some of my favorites to buy from.
Yeah. So start your radishes soon so that you'll have some radishes for your spring salads and all those good things.
Radishes are usually best started outside as soon as the soil is workable. And that is not right now.
Nope. Okay. So should we tell everybody what we're going to be talking about next week?
Oh, I like next week's episode. That looks very cool. Spotlighting one of our most favorite breeds of all time, the Cochin.
The chickens with the pants.
It's true. Chickens with pantalones. Main topic, we're talking about winter layers. What are winter layers?
Yeah, everything you need to know.
Cracking the eggs. This is a recipe that was originally sent to us by Darcy, one of our patrons. I modified it a bit, but it's delicious.
Hi, Darcy.
Hi, Darcy. Mud hen bars. And retail therapy, we're talking about new treats from our friends at Nutrina, NatureWise Tidbits.
And they are excellent. Okay, so what should we tell everybody to do until next week?
Hug your chickens, ducks, and geese.
And kiss them too. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
If you'd like to see more of us, please follow us on Instagram at Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. If you'd like to help us grow the podcast, please leave us a written review on Apple Podcasts. If you'd like to become a patron of the show, please visit our Patreon page, patreon.com/Coffee with the Chicken Ladies. Thanks for listening.